What about love? Don't you want someone to care about you? What about love? Don't let it slip away. I don't know if that's the actual words, but that's how it goes in my head. Either. Hey, this is Megan
and Sue in the restricted section,
and today we are going to do the pumpkin tag, which is by Josh at Literary Gladiators.
Yeah, this is one of his foodie book tags. Which we love, and he also tagged us in the apple tag first actually, but we decided to do the pumpkin tag first since it's more like Halloween-y associated.
And we were feeling it.
Yeah.
So we're doing it.
So we'll do the apple tag next.
Yes.
Since it's the pumpkin tag, we're drinking actually 2 pumpkin beers.
We're double fisting it for this one.
But we have the Imperial Pumpkin Smash by Crown Valley Brewing, which I think might have won our Battle of the Pumpkin Beers that we did last year.
I mean, I don't
remember for certain, but I think it was this one. And then we also have one of our favorite pumpkin beers, which is
Pumpkin Ale by Schlafly or Schlafly.
I believe it's Schlafly. And this is just a really great pumpkin beer, but we're kind of going to see if we still felt the same way about this Crown Valley.
Yeah, we're going to
try it first.
Let's do it.
It's really good. I like it.
It's alright.
You don't like it?
I'm not sold. I like it, but I'm not sold.
It's on the sweet side.
It is. It's. I think that's what it is. It's like a little too sweet for me.
I like it.
But it's not bad.
Now let's try this.
Alright. See, that's more my jam right there.
Yeah? I don't know. I think they're very different, so I think it would depend on what you were in the mood for, kind of.
Yeah, they are very different.
Because this one is like rich and
chocolatey.
Kind of, yeah, like sweet and very rich. And this one is very much like an easier drinking, and it's much less sweet. It's still sweet,
but it's less.
But
sweet.
It's not. Yeah.
It's not as rich. Yeah.
So yeah, kind of just depends on your preference, I think. But I think they're both really good.
They are both really good. Yeah. I prefer the Schlafly.
Yeah. And also, before we get into the tag, we wanted to announce our next book club book. So this will be for November. And yeah, we didn't get a chance to announce it last time because we were waiting until we had our actual physical book club. But then we actually ended up choosing a different book than we are reading for our in-person one, because the book that got chosen for that is like, it's kind of not well known and not readily available, and so we wanted to pick something that a lot of people would be able to get their hands on. And this one, a lot of you might have already read already, so I think like a lot of people would be able to join in with us. So yeah, that's kind of why we chose The Handmaid's Tale. Yeah, so this, I'm sure, everyone's heard of this one, especially since the Hulu show came out recently, but it's something that I've been meaning to read for forever and still haven't read yet. And Megan's already read it, and
I fucking love it.
Yeah, and she'd been wanting to reread it anyway.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's going to be our book. We're going to have a live show on the second Sunday in November, which is what, the 12th? Yeah, so on November 12th, we will have our live show talking about The Handmaid's Tale, and it will be at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Yes, so tune in and join in on that discussion because it'll be delightful.
Yes.
So I guess let's get into this tag without further ado. So the first question is Pumpkin, which is a writer you always make a point to read in October.
And I don't think there really is a specific writer that I make a point to read. Just any spooky horror novels, things like that. I did read my first Stephen King recently, so maybe in the future I might read more Stephen King in October. Yeah, maybe. So, yeah.
My answer is kind of the same. I really don't have a specific author, but I do like to try to read spooky things in October. Spooky things.
The next question is pumpkin spice. A work you would read to impress a millennial.
I would say anything by Kurt Vonnegut.
Yeah, we kind of took this a different direction than Josh did. He chose something that was really popular with millennials. But when I think millennial, my brain goes straight to hipster.
Oh yeah, mine too.
And so I was thinking, like, what would a hipster be impressed by?
Yeah.
And that would be something that's not as popular.
Not as popular, but
I mean,
like
Vonnegut's still popular.
He's fucking prolific as shit, and
yeah,
I feel like
that's
everyone
true.
loves him. And I've only read excerpts of his work, and I wasn't crazy about it.
I've only read Slaughterhouse-Five, and I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. But I chose Fight Club by Chuck Palahniuk because I feel like that'd be something like that's kind of a hipstery thing to like.
It is.
Like, I don't know.
It's a hipster thing to like. Yeah. So next is Pumpkin Pie, a work that makes you think of autumn.
And I said The Legend of Sleepy Hollow by Rip Van Winkle.
Rip Van Winkle.
This is The Legend of Sleepy Hollow and Rip Van Winkle by Washington Irving. Yeah, but I mean, he's got a fucking pumpkin for a head.
I mean, how much more fall do you get?
Yeah, exactly.
I said the poem My November Guest by Robert Frost because I love that poem and I love Robert Frost, and fucking November is in the name of the poem.
Right.
So. Autumn.
Right. Next is Pumpkin Cheesecake.
Delicious.
A work that was challenging to read but was a rewarding experience.
Watership Down by Richard Adams. It took me like for fucking ever to really get into that book. Even though it was really good, it was not super engaging, so it was hard work to read.
Yeah.
But it was really good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
And I said A Brief History of Seven Killings by Marlon James, which I feel like is kind of an obvious answer, but yeah, this is not an easy read. There's a lot of Jamaican dialect that was very tough to get into at first. Like, I don't know what the fuck was going on, what they were saying. There's a lot of different characters, so I was kind of lost for quite a while, like trying to remember who was who and what was going on, but I really ended up loving this book. I thought it was really good. So I was glad that I pushed through.
Persevered.
Yes.
Pumpkin Bread, an underrated work from a well-known writer.
And I chose The Wanting Seed by Anthony Burgess. Of course, his most well-known work is A Clockwork Orange, which I really liked, but I also really liked this one, and I don't really hear anyone talk about it at all.
Mm-hmm. I liked it.
So, yeah, The Wanting Seed. Pretty good.
I said Herland by Charlotte Perkins Gilman. Because typically when you hear about Charlotte Perkins Gilman, you hear about The Yellow Wallpaper, which is also very good. But I fucking love this book. And this actually, like, this might be one of my favorite books that I own.
Really?
Just because I really love this copy of it, because it's kind of old. Mm-hmm. And there's, like, some random notes made in the front page that are super fun. Like, one of them is, they have cats. Of course they do. And there's, like, things underlined and stuff in here, and I just really like it. But yeah, I love this book. It was really good.
Next is Pumpkin Soup. I've never had pumpkin soup, have you?
No, I have not.
Sounds
Weird.
questionable.
Yeah, it sounds weird. I don't know about that.
This is a work that you first enjoyed but then lost interest.
I said Ready Player One by Ernest Cline because at first, like, this book, I love the premise of it. The premise sounds super fascinating. They quoted Ghostbusters on the first page of this, and I was like, well, that's cool.
Copy's so fucked.
My copy's so fucked. I keep leaving books on my nightstand, and my dogs keep I keep a glass of water on my nightstand, too, and so my dogs keep knocking it over. So this book is, like, super waterlogged, which is fine, because I don't like it. Yeah, like, at first it was interesting, and I was like, oh, yeah, this is an interesting world, and, you know, blah, blah, blah. I like the 80s. And then it just got to be, like... First of all, I'm not a gamer, so I don't care about the gaming references. Secondly, I hate all the characters in this.
I didn't hate Wade, but I didn't love him.
I really didn't like him.
He had moments of where I liked him, but moments where I didn't. I was like, ugh.
I hate that whole, like, knowledge spewing thing where it's like, listen to all this stuff I know. I'm like, yes, you're very smart. Congratulations.
You know a lot about
good job for you.
This thing.
Great.
About gaming.
That doesn't make you any less insufferable. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
And I chose a series that I started. I read the first 2 books. I think it's a trilogy. I read the first 2 books in high school and then never read the 3rd book. But that is, I don't know what the series is called, but the first book is called A Great and Terrible Beauty. And the second book I think was called Rebel Angels, and it's by Liva Bray. And I really enjoyed those first 2 books, but it was a case where the 3rd book had not been published yet at the time. And then I went off to college and was not, like, I just kind of forgot about it. I just forgot about the series. Honestly, like I said, I did really enjoy those first 2 books, so, like, maybe I might reread it and finish it someday, but at the time I just, lost interest because I had other shit going on.
Pumpkin Donut, a light 5-star read.
And this might not fit everyone's definition of light, but I went with Apocalypse Cow by Michael Logan. This is about, like, zombie animals. All mammals become zombies except humans.
That's terrifying.
And it is so funny. It was just a really great time to me. Like, I fucking loved this book because I thought it was funny and it was just fun, and I mean, it's gory. There's some, like, fucked up shit in here. The characters are not very likable, most of them, but I loved this book. I thought it was fantastic. Mm-hmm. And I need to read the sequel. Like, what's wrong with me? Why haven't I read the sequel to this yet?
I said The Hobbit because this was a light fun read, I think. I don't read a lot of things that could be considered light. And I also don't use my 5-star rating very often.
Yeah.
But yeah, I loved The Hobbit. It was a fun adventure story, and I loved the way it was written. I love Bilbo Baggins.
Me too. Oh, Bilbo.
Oh,
Bilbo.
Bilbo. My
He
boy.
stole my heart.
Yes.
I don't know why I love Bilbo so much.
He's pretty fucking awesome.
I really do.
Also, like, I really kind of have a crush on the actor who plays him in, like, the Hobbit
Martin
movies.
Freeman?
Yes. He's so fucking cute, right?
Yeah, he is cute.
All right. I'm good. I got myself worked up a little bit. I'm all right.
Next is pumpkin picking. Within the last year, in which genre did you purchase the most books?
Dystopian? Question mark?
Yeah.
Most of the books that I like the most are dystopian novels, so that's what I tend to gravitate toward.
And I said literary fiction? Question mark? I'm not really sure. I kind of read across all genres, so I think I've gotten a little bit of everything, but I tend to gravitate toward more literary fiction than
anything else?
Other things. And sci-fi, but I don't think I've bought a lot of sci-fi this year.
I don't think I have either. Alright, pumpkin carving, a work that could have been trimmed down.
And I said A Little Fucking Life by Hanya Yanagihara. Holy fuck, that book could have been a good 300 pages shorter.
Jesus
I was
fucking
like,
Christ.
leave him alone, Hanya Yanagihara. Just
what
end
is wrong
it.
With
just
you?
leave this poor man
What is
alone.
wrong with you? God. Yeah, I feel like we could have compounded his suffering into maybe like 200 pages and called it a day.
Yeah.
Like, we really didn't need 700 pages of that bullshit.
You put the county.
I didn't really want it to be the whole country.
The county of ice
I wanted it to be a county, but it was a country. And I said The Country of Motherfucking Ice Cream Star by Sandra Goddamn Newman. Because, fuck, like this, okay. So this motherfucker is almost 600 pages long. So that's long fucking enough. And it's the first book. Like, there's a fucking sequel.
Another book.
She didn't tell me that. She didn't tell, Sandra Newman didn't tell me that.
Yeah, it doesn't say that anywhere.
No.
I figured that out by looking up interviews with her, because I was like, this can't be the end.
It's fucking not.
Be
It's
the
fucking
end.
not the end.
And she's like, oh yeah, I'm working on a sequel. God damn it!
Fuck you. It's got ice cream in the name. This is supposed to be like a light fucking fun read. It's all written in this goddamn dialect. It's 600 pages of fucking dialect. Kiss my ass. Alright, I'm fine. I'm good.
Alright. Next is pumpkin painting.
Mm-hmm.
A book with magnificent illustrations.
And I went with Anathema by Rachel Deering, which is a graphic novel, comic book. I'm still unclear what is what. but that was one that I borrowed from Sue and read, and there's supposed to be more, but there isn't yet.
Hopefully there will be.
I really hope that there will be, because I thought the artwork was fucking beautiful, and the story was really, really cool too, so I really enjoyed it.
And I said this edition of The Divine Comedy by Dante Alighieri. And this is just beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Already, but it has illustrations by Gustave Doré. And so throughout, you got like illustrations of, what
Hell.
the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
Heaven, hell, purgatory. Here's like a bunch of naked dudes,
Oh, alright.
like pushing some boulders.
You can push my boulders, you know what I'm saying? You know.
Yeah, so I thought, the illustrations are lovely.
They are lovely.
Very lovely naked fellas.
Then we have Pumpkin Ice Cream, the most random work you would recommend.
I went with The Song of the Forest by Colin McKay. I randomly picked this up at a library sale last year? A couple years ago?
I think it was last year.
Just because it looked cool, it sounded interesting, and I really, really loved it. Like, I want to read it again already.
That's pretty awesome.
And it's set in like this Scotland in the Dark Ages, in this village, and to protect themselves from invaders, they build like a golem, essentially. It was just really good. It was really good, and then I found out I found out that the author killed himself, partially because he thought that he wanted to be a novelist, and he was more known for his poetry, and I think
he felt
like a failure, and I'm like, I liked your book. I liked your book, Colin McKay.
Come back, Colin McKay.
So that made me really sad.
And I said Day of the Opricnik by Vladimir Sorokin, translated by Jamie Gambrell, because this book is fucking weird as shit. And I read it in July, and I still don't know if I like it. I have no idea.
You would recommend
July
it
of
just
last
to
year.
be like, help me out, figure out if this is a good book or not.
So it's fucking crazy. It's just batshit crazy. They do these drugs, and so there's these chapters that are just nothing but drug fueled stream of consciousness, trips, and they're scientifically altered penises, and I don't know, man. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's just some real fucked up shit.
Alright, the next question is, what is your favorite way to enjoy pumpkin / what is your favorite dish where pumpkin is the main ingredient?
Beer.
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 Pumpkin beer.
Pumpkin beer.
Yeah. I would agree. Pumpkin beer. I also love that pumpkin dip that you made.
Oh, yeah.
I love that stuff too.
Really?
Yeah.
I love
It's
pumpkin
really
bread.
good. Pumpkin bread's really good. I like pumpkin pie, but I hate the crust. I could just eat the filling.
I don't like pumpkin pie.
Really?
Mm-mm. Unless it's whipped pumpkin pie, which I basically just use that pumpkin dip stuff
Yeah.
and put whipped cream on top of it.
Yeah.
And then put it in a graham cracker crust. But I don't like pumpkin pie.
I'm not real big on pumpkin spice lattes.
It's too sweet.
I had one this year because it had been a while since I'd had one. So I was like, I'm gonna get a pumpkin spice latte. It kind of tasted like soap.
Ew.
A little. It
Ew.
wasn't bad, but it just had a soapy taste. And I was like,
I don't want that.
this is weird. I don't like it.
Don't want that.
I really like Starbucks' Christmas drinks, though. They have really good Christmas lattes.
Lattes.
I like their gingerbread latte. And they have a praline or something. That one's really
Sounds
good.
interesting. I don't ever go to Starbucks anymore.
Really? I go there
I
and
don't
get
like their-
Americanos.
That's what I usually get if I go to Starbucks, but I don't like their coffee.
Really?
I like it if you buy it in the bag and then make it at home, but I don't like the way that they make their coffee.
Oh.
So I don't.
I wish
usually go
that
there.
McDonald's had better coffee because I like their
I
breakfast
love McDonald's
food.
coffee.
I don't like McDonald's coffee at all. And if you get a latte there, it's just, you might as well just get a cup of milk and add sugar to it because there's no coffee in there.
Gross.
I got a caramel macchiato there the other day, and it was like...
Oh, yeah.
And, like, I mean, that's kind of what a caramel macchiato is.
Right.
It's like you fill it a lot with milk, I think.
Yeah.
But it was, like, so sweet. There was, like, maybe a tablespoon of coffee in that thing. It was, like, ugh. It was not good. Like, remember I had to add
coffee here.
I came here and I was like, I can't handle this. And she was like, you can add some regular coffee to it. And I was like, yes, that sounds great. So I poured as much regular coffee into it as I could.
Yeah. Oof. Yeah, I usually just drink black coffee, though. I don't typically drink.
Yeah, that's what I do when I'm at home is I just drink black coffee.
Yeah.
But if I'm going to Starbucks or somewhere, then it's like a treat. Yeah. So I'm like, might as well get something. Which, like, usually at Starbucks I just get Americanos and then I add white mocha to it.
Okay.
So it tastes kind of like a white mocha, but less sweet.
You know, I heard, I don't know if this is true because I'm not a history buff, but I heard that the reason why Americanos are called Americanos is because, like, during World War I or World War II, Americans in Europe would get espresso, but they couldn't just drink it because it was too strong, so they would add water to it. And so that became known as the Americano.
Huh.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's just something I heard somewhere. All right. Maybe true, maybe fake. History.
We were going to think of people to tag and then we forgot to do it. Because the last question is Pumpkin Patch. Who did you tag? So let's just have a look-see and we'll figure out who we're going to tag because we always forget this fucking part. We're going to tag Nathan James.
Nathan James.
So we're also going to tag Literary Epiphanies. Mm-hmm. Okay, Creative Liberties.
Creative Liberties. We tag you. Uncle Susan and Megan want you.
Uncle Susan and Megan.
Like Uncle Sam wants you.
I thought we were just like your creepy uncles.
Well, that maybe.
We're the creepy uncles of BookTube.
That's my creepy uncle laugh.
And start making inappropriate comments about your body's development.
Yeah.
There'll be some links below where you can find us elsewhere on the internet. Lost my train of thought. Right in the middle there.
If you're not already subscribed to the restricted section, you should do so. Mm-hmm. And we will see you next time.
Yep.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.